Ever gaze at the stars and wonder, what happens to our hearts in space? Well, you're not alone. As we reach for the cosmos, we must also understand how our bodies, specifically our hearts, adapt to life in microgravity. It's a bit like driving a car. On flat ground, your engine hums along just fine. But try driving up a steep hill and suddenly, your engine's working harder, right? That's a bit like what happens to your heart in space. Without the pull of gravity, our hearts don't have to work as hard to pump blood around our bodies. But here's the kicker. This might not be such a good thing. Prolonged exposure to microgravity can lead to cardiovascular changes that could impact our health and our ability to explore the stars. So, buckle up, space enthusiasts, as we delve into this heart-pounding topic. Imagine trying to pump water uphill without a pump. Sounds tough, right? That's what your heart might feel in space. You know, gravity is like the heart's best friend. It's always there, lending a helping hand. Here on Earth, gravity plays a crucial role in our cardiovascular system. How does it do that, you ask? Well, gravity helps the heart distribute blood throughout our bodies, making it easier for the heart to pump blood downwards, to our legs and lower body. So, gravity is kind of like the heart's silent partner, helping it get the job done. Our hearts are incredible machines, perfectly adapted to work with gravity. It's like they're in a symbiotic relationship, with gravity assisting the heart in its daily grind of pumping blood. This gravitational aid allows the heart to work efficiently, ensuring we have the oxygen and nutrients we need to live, move, and have our being. Now, let's take a trip to outer space. Imagine you're an astronaut, floating around in the International Space Station. Suddenly, gravity isn't there to lend a hand. Without gravity, your heart has to work a little harder to distribute blood evenly throughout your body. It's like trying to do a two-person job all by yourself. It's doable, but it's a lot more work. In space, the heart pumps more blood towards the upper body and less to the lower body. This can lead to a whole host of changes, including an increase in heart rate, a decrease in blood pressure, and a redistribution of blood and fluids. Sounds pretty intense, right? It's like your heart has to learn a new dance routine, and it's got to do it solo. But despite the increased workload, the heart is an adaptable organ. It finds new ways to keep the show going, even in the face of a challenging environment like space. In space, without gravity, our heart has to pump a little harder, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. So buckle up, because we're about to dive deeper into the fascinating world of the heart in space. Now picture this. You're floating in space, enjoying the view, but your heart is throwing a tantrum. In the absence of gravity, our cardiovascular system, the intricate network of highways for our blood, undergoes some pretty dramatic changes. You see, our bodies are beautifully designed for life on Earth, with gravity playing a key role. When we stand up, gravity pulls blood down into the legs. Our heart compensates by working a little harder to pump blood up to the brain, keeping us conscious and upright. But in space, where gravity is virtually non-existent, this whole system gets thrown out of whack. The blood doesn't quite know where to go, and instead of being drawn down into the legs, it starts to pool in the upper body and head. Suddenly your body is dealing with a surplus of blood where it doesn't expect it. Imagine overfilling a water balloon. It's going to stretch, right? Well, the same thing happens to your heart. It's working overtime, pumping blood that's not being pulled down by gravity. It has to beat faster and harder. Over time, this could lead to the heart muscle thickening, much like how a weightlifter's muscles bulk up from lifting heavy weights. But unlike the weightlifter, the heart doesn't get to rest between sets. It's always on duty, pumping away 24/7, and this constant strain could potentially lead to problems down the line. It's a bit like running your car engine at high speed for a long time. Eventually, something's going to give. And it's not just the heart that's affected. The vessels transporting the blood are also dealing with this sudden rush. They have to dilate to accommodate the extra blood, which can lead to a drop in blood pressure, making the heart work even harder. So while you're out there floating around, taking in the breathtaking sights of space, your heart is back home screaming, "Why did we leave Earth again?" Your heart, it seems, isn't a fan of zero gravity. But why should we care? You might think, so what if my heart works a bit harder in space? I can handle it. Well, it's not that simple. In the zero-gravity environment of space, the cardiovascular system undergoes significant changes that can lead to potential health risks and side effects. For instance, your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood upwards against gravity, resulting in the heart muscle potentially becoming deconditioned over time. This reduction in workload might initially sound like a good thing, right? Less work, more relaxation. However, it's not a vacation for your heart. When astronauts return to Earth's gravity, their hearts may not be as efficient at pumping blood throughout the body, leading to potential health issues. One of these issues is orthostatic intolerance. This condition makes it difficult for astronauts to stand for prolonged periods after returning to Earth because their cardiovascular system can't adjust quickly enough to the sudden reintroduction of gravity. It's like standing up too fast and feeling dizzy, but imagine that feeling lasting for days or even weeks. Another potential side effect is spaceflight-induced neuroocular syndrome, or SANS for short. This condition is characterized by changes in vision and the structure of the eye, caused by the shift of bodily fluids towards the head in microgravity. It's as if you're hanging upside down, but instead of the blood rushing back down when you stand up, it stays there. And let's not forget about the potential for decreased immune response, bone density loss, and muscle atrophy. All these changes can contribute to a space heartache that goes beyond just the cardiovascular system. It's crucial to understand these potential health risks, not to scare you away from the dream of space travel, but to highlight the challenges we need to overcome to make long-term space travel safe and sustainable. So, while floating around might be fun, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for our hearts. So, should we just give up on our dreams of exploring the cosmos? Absolutely not. The challenges we face in space travel, especially the cardiovascular changes due to microgravity, are indeed significant. But remember, we're a species that thrives on overcoming obstacles. Our history is filled with stories of our breakthroughs against all odds. So, why should space be any different? As we speak, scientific minds around the globe are working tirelessly to understand and mitigate these cardiovascular changes. Organizations like NASA are at the forefront of this research, investing heavily in technological advancements and medical studies. The goal is to ensure that our bodies can withstand the rigors of space travel and adapt to the alien environment. One of the promising areas of research is in the development of artificial gravity. By creating a centrifugal force similar to Earth's gravity, we might be able to counteract some of the effects of microgravity on the heart. It's not science fiction, it's science fact. And it's happening right now. Another key facet of our spacefaring future is the training of our astronauts. It's not just about physical fitness, it's about preparing their bodies and minds for the unique challenges of space. This includes everything from rigorous exercise regimes to dietary changes, all with the aim of maintaining cardiovascular health. But beyond the technological solutions and training regimens, there's something else that will ensure our success in space. It's the indomitable human spirit, our curiosity, our courage, and our refusal to be confined by our biological limitations. These are the traits that have taken us from the caves to the stars, and they will continue to drive us forward. So while the journey to the stars may pose its share of challenges, it's certainly not insurmountable. With continuous research, technological progress, and the courage to face the unknown, we're more than capable of overcoming these obstacles. Our journey to the stars may be a bit bumpy, but as we've always done, we'll find a way to adapt and overcome. So, what have we learned from our heart-to-heart about space? We've delved into the cosmic depths, exploring how the heart, a loyal friend to gravity, finds itself in a bit of a pickle when uprooted from its earth-bound existence. We've discovered that floating in space isn't just about fun and games. It's a roller coaster ride for our cardiovascular system, leading to a space heartache, quite literally. We've also shed light on the future of space travel, highlighting the significance of our understanding of these cardiovascular changes. It's like piecing together a cosmic puzzle. Each discovery, each piece, brings us one step closer to a future where humans may tread the alien grounds of far-off worlds. But remember, every great journey begins with a single step, or in our case, a single heartbeat. Thanks for joining this heart-stopping journey into space. Until next time, keep looking up and wondering.